It's Shao. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. Thanks so much for clicking on my video. Today's video, I wanted to show you guys how I came up with these two really cute yet minimalistic stitch or embroidery shirts. All the materials was really inexpensive, so it was a really affordable DIY. At the end of the video, please let me know down in the comments which was your favorite shirt. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so to get into the materials, you need some shirts. I got these shirts from Hobby Lobby. So I got a long sleeve t-shirt. They retail for $7.99, but I got 30% off. And then I got a short sleeve t-shirt for $3.99, also 30% off. And I got these in youth sizes, in size medium. And then this part is optional, but an embroidery hoop. You don't need it, but it does help. I did try stitching with and without it, and I found that it was a lot easier to use a hoop. So if you can get one, I would recommend it. You also need, of course, some embroidery string or yarn. They have such a wide variety of colors at any of the craft stores. I decided to, hand pick my colors, but you can get them in bundles as well. And then last but not least, you'll need, of course, a needle and then a lead pencil to, draw on the shirt. And then I also needed a pair of scissors because I cropped my shirts, but that part, again, is optional. So for the first shirt design, I wanted to make some floral stitches and write bloom underneath. I just thought that would be such a cute and minimalistic little image. To start off, I'm just going to crop my shirts. This just gives it a little bit more of a modern and stylish look, but of course this is totally optional. I'm going to install my embroidery hoop, so to do that, you just want to take the part that doesn't have the fastener and put that right underneath the first layer on the shirt. And then taking the other hoop piece, you just want to loosen it up and then fit it over that other hoop, making sure not to stretch your shirt too much, and then you can fasten it. Before you start stitching, you might want to separate your yarn or string. There's usually about 6 of them in these, so I took about 2 and I used about 4 or 5 of them. Now to make my first stitch, I'm going to take my needle and stitching from the inside of the shirt out. I'm going to make a line that is about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. The bigger your lines are, the bigger your roses will be. Once I have the first stitch made, I'm going to make 4 other stitches that are all connected in the center so that you get a star-like shape. So now you should have a star-like shape like this. The next clip did get deleted, but I'll show you guys how I did it during my second rows. So I'm going to take my needle, and from the inside out, coming through just slightly to the side of the center, you want to take your needle under any one of those stitches you made and continue to do so for every other stitch, always making sure to skip one. Continue to do this until all of the stitches you made are completely covered. And then at the end here, I just kind of started doing whatever I needed to do to cover those lines that I made. Once you've covered all of those lines, you're going to take your needles and go right underneath the rose and stick it right through the back, and now you're going to tie a knot in the back to secure that rose. The way that I secured it was I just took my needle and looped through one of those lines in the back, and I just pulled it, but not all the way through. I took my needle and looped it through the hole twice so that it would be double knotted, and then I just pulled it tightly, and then I snipped off the excess string. I would recommend maybe dabbing like clear nail polish on the dot or like fabric glue just to secure it. And you should have a perfectly embroidered rose. It is so cute and so easy and so simple to do. I'm so in love. I'm just so happy with the way it turned out. So now I'm going to do 2 more in 2 different colors. So this is what my roses look like. You always want to step back to make sure that your design is centered. So next I'm going to move into the stem. So I took my green string or yarn and I'm starting at the bottom where the bottom of the stem is going to be. I'm coming from the inside out and I'm just making small stitches to connect all the way up to the first flower. So I think there's different ways of stitching. There's like back stitching and some other ways. I don't know all the terms. I just do what I can to make sure they all connect. So you guys can kind of see the way I'm doing. I just make one line at a time. So now I have my first stem, I'm going to make a leaf. So you want to come from the inside out from the stem where you want the leaf to be, pull the needle all the way through, and then you want to go right back through that same hole you came in. And then when you pull your yarn, you want to leave a little bit of a loop left. So now that you have your loop, you want to take your needle, again coming from the inside out. You want to end where your other end of the leaf is going to be, if that makes sense. And then you want to take that needle, when you pull all the way out, you want to take it through the loop and pull that, and you should get this perfect little leaf. And then to secure the leaf, you just want to take your needle and go right on the other side of that yarn of that leaf and just pull it all the way through and it'll hold your leaf. Next, I'm just going to finish up some of the stems to the other roses and add little leaves as well, and then we'll move into the wording. And then lastly, for this DIY, I'm just going to stitch in the word bloom. I'm just going to basically do those tiny stitches and connect them into the word that I want. I would really recommend taking a pencil and writing out the word that you want and then just kind of tracing that with your yarn. But I just decided to freehand it, and it did take quite a while, especially for this cursive lettering. But I think it's really cute and it's really worth it. So just try your best. So for this last long sleeve shirt DIY, I wanted to stitch a heart on the side and then write on my sleeve, so it would kind of read heart on my sleeve. I had initially wanted to do cursive, but since the bloom one for the first DIY took so long, I figured I would just do like plain cap letters, which was way easier. So I really recommend doing cap letters, and I actually think it looks way better. So let's go ahead and get into this last DIY. To begin, I'm taking my pencil and I traced a little heart on the sleeve. I did end up moving this heart a little bit higher up the sleeve, which I do recommend. Next, to stitch the heart, I'm going to take my needle once again from the inside out, starting at the bottom point of the heart. I'm going to make line stitches to trace the heart. This is how I learned to do it from one of the YouTube videos that I watch, but after completing the heart, I think this step of tracing the heart is not entirely necessary, and you'll see why later. So you could leave the heart as is, just trace, but I think having it filled in added a lot of color and detail to the shirt. To fill in the heart, take your needle starting from the middle part of the top of the heart, stitch a line across to the one side of the heart. You want to make sure this stitch is on the other side of the heart tracing stitch that you just made so that they're covered. You basically just want to continue making stitches across the heart to fill it in. This is the reason why I mentioned that I don't think it's necessary to trace the heart with the stitches, because you can basically just use the pencil tracing that you made as the guidelines and just skip the tracing stitch part of the heart entirely. But that's totally up to you. And last but not least, I'm just going to take black yarn and stitch on my sleeve part, and I just did this on all caps. My camera stopped recording, but it was just really basic, just stitching lettering, and then you're done with this DIY. Alright guys, that is it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful and enjoyable to watch. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. I think it's so hard to choose, but I think I like the long sleeve one. I thought I would like the floral one way better, which I still really do, but the long sleeve shirt one I think is just so cute. So let me know which one you guys like best. Also, let me know if you guys would like to see more of these stitched design videos. I do have some other ones in mind, but that just depends if you guys want to see them or not. So if you guys liked what you saw and would like to see more videos from me, please consider subscribing. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.